So the statement is not straight for a man to date a trans woman, to which you disagree.
I disagree with that.
Lexi, you put a mark through it. Is that a maybe?
It depends.
On what?
So if they're a fully transitioned trans woman and there's like nothing male physique about them at all, and they identify as a trans woman and they've done the name change and they put in the work and that is who they are, I don't think it's gay to be dating them. They don't have any male parts. So
if they have you also brought me into this though and sidewigged me.
I know, but she's speaking. So you mean post-operatively?
Yeah, post-op.
So pre-op it would be gay then?
Because of the fact of genitalia, okay. I would say that it is not a fault of the other person for not being willing to date them. Because that is based off of sexual attractiveness to genitalia. And my boyfriend, he's straight, but he is like, I'm not attracted to genitalia at all. So like the thought of maybe being with female transitioning, male transitioning into female, it doesn't totally put him off, but there would have to be changes, Sure. Like they'd have to look feminine because he's attracted to feminine. But I wouldn't say that it's gay. For a fully post-op woman, they're a woman. So no, it's not gay.
And then, no, hold on. Okay. You also said that you were maybe on the statement, transgender individuals have a duty to disclose to romantic partners, to which you say maybe?
Again, if they're fully transitioned and they look
then no, they don't have a duty.
They don't have to. That's a part of their private medical history. They don't need to disclose that.
Okay.
Of course they do.
They have to, hold on. I would say that they would have to disclose the fact that they cannot procreate.
Okay.
But so if someone has, we're talking about, you said they don't have to disclose because that's their own medical history. So you're telling me someone I sleep with doesn't have to disclose if they have a sexually transmitted disease or something else? That's all medical history.
You're using the Andrew argument. Good job, Kiko.
Trans is not going to rub off on you.
But you said medical history.
If they no longer have an STD or anything.
Trust me, everyone hates me on this podcast because of the things I've said. So I'm not trying to do anything against you. But that is something that because that has to do with your sexual organs at the end of the day. So if you've had something done to your sexual organs, I feel like I have the right to know that before I am intimate sexually with you. It's the same thing about people with AIDS and HIV. They're like, oh, you don't have to disclose because I'm on my medication and I'm not transmittable. No, even if you're not transmittable or not, if you have HIV or AIDS, whatever, I have the right to know that.
Again, I agree with you. If there is a factor or a potential of you being physically affected by what they're going through, then they have an obligation to tell you.
But you'll be physically, mentally affected if you date someone that you didn't know. Like if I would go with a man that he was a woman before and I didn't know, because I really like alpha male and he pretend to be alpha male, I would be pissed off. Okay. I would be pissed off. Like it's unacceptable, completely unacceptable.
I don't know about what she said, but it's just you have a right to know who you're with. If they had a whole different being, I'm so open. But if I'm dating someone, I have the right to know if they were a different whole gender sexuality in high school or whatever. That's
not
things
about
that you
feelings
need
as
to
well.
disclose. That's why people start getting mad because they have the right to make a conscious decision. And anyways, if you are trans, why do you want to be sleeping with someone who wouldn't want to sleep with you if you were trans? If anything, it's for your own safety to disclose something. Because if you're in the room with them, if you're in the motel bed, whatever, with them, and they realize something, that's how people get murdered and killed. So it's your right to disclose all that information for your own safety.
It's their right.
Hold on. You guys can have the exchange. One sec. Athena, you said you disagree that transgendered individuals have a duty to disclose to romantic partners.
Just about timing. I circled it because I think it's just more like when. I don't know that it's
I think it should be immediately. But
if you're meeting on a dating app, does it have to be before you go on a date, or can it be when you meet them in person, you disclose that, or maybe before you guys decide you want to go
what's your disagreement though? Where do you think the line is?
Well, the timing of the duty, because I think there's
time of disclosure.
Yeah.
Because I agree. I don't think you should be hi, my name is Kiko and I'm trans or whatever. But on a dating app, you should probably have that in your bio that's what's going on with you. Because that's.
But if you have that,
no. You guys can wait to give your position. What's your position?
I just gave it.
Yeah, you said, okay, when does this duty kick in?
Oh, so, okay, for timing.
Yes.
Yeah, I think first date, but like in person.
Okay.
So
All
to
right.
deceive him until the date, you mean?
Well, I mean,
We're going to get right
I
back into
suppose.
this. I need to allow a few chats to come through because they're piling
I mean,
up.
how deceiving is it though to be like, okay.
I was just saying, regardless of what, because obviously every individual woman is different, right? But in retrospect, someone needs to work, someone needs to take care of the kids, someone needs to birth the kids. So as a man, regardless, even if you get a surrogate or whatever, you need a man to have a family. And that's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about a day-to-day life, whatever. But like if you want to live a good life with a family, a woman needs to be involved in some point.
We have 3. He says you can chop off your peen, you can get silicone bolted up to your chest, even inject chemicals into your body. That doesn't make you a woman. You will always have male chromosomes. Quick response from anybody on this?
I agree on that completely.
I was hoping for somebody who disagrees, but
We already knew
I
that.
disagree.
okay.
Honestly, like throughout history in certain indigenous tribes and everything, there wasn't a hard definition for sexuality. More feminine were seen as more spiritual. It wasn't considered a mental disorder until
You're talking about the two-spirit?
yeah, the
It's all
two-spirit.
fake.
All fake.
All fake. Yeah, it came from a single Spanish envoy. I don't remember, the word started with a B. I can't remember what he called them, but it was just with one particular tribe, roughly translated to something like two-spirit. But there's actually no serious documentation for the idea of two-spirit among Native Americans.
Well, I can speak as someone who's raised pagan, a lot of pagan communities, which did come before Christianity.
Yeah.
We'll just say that. We also don't view sexuality based off of what you are born with.
They did. In fact, the early pagan tribes, especially the Germanic tribes, they actually
pagan?
executed people in same-sex relationship, and this was
Yeah, which
actually
one,
well
though?
documented by the Greeks, especially by the early Greek philosophers, because they were studying pagan tribes.
Okay, Greeks and Romans who also had same-sex relationships with
Yeah, they did.
altar boys.
They did.
And
Yeah, hang on,
No,
hang on,
but
they did.
which pagans are we talking
Well,
about?
usually when people say pagans, they're not referring to Greeks, they're not referring to Romans. They're usually
Yeah.
referring to barbarian tribes which were later conquered by the Romans. So when people say, like, I have a pagan religion, they're not talking about Romans. Almost no pagan goes for that. They're usually going for the more tribal paganism, right?
Like specifically because you said German, is that what you?
Germanic tribes,
Germanic?
the Picts.
Yeah.
There was many different.
That's a big surprise.
The Britannians, all of these different tribes. Yeah, they came down pretty hard on it, actually.
Yeah.
Surprisingly.
So not surprisingly, those are not the most popular ones that stuck around, and that's not what has basically trickled down. If you look into Viking,
They killed them.
not all of them.
They did. I'm serious. Listen, I'm serious.
No.
I'm so sorry.
Vikings. Listen. Well, first of all, they didn't call themselves Vikings. That was we called them Vikings.
Yes.
Okay, but yeah, the Nordic pagans. Yeah, they were not
Okay,
fans.
not the ones that we commonly know. My dad is pagan Nordic. I don't associate with that, but also we have Druid paganism. We have the that they weren't
like
pagans.
one
they
of the
were-
whole Loki turning into a horse and humping another horse and the various different legends which
That's
are around
the
it.
mythology.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah, but these mythologies are based around. Remember, I was saying culture comes from the ethos of the religion, right? And so if you study especially Nordic gods, right? No, they were not fans. With women, they seemed to not care as much, but
So-
with men, because there was such a dominance culture, that was a no-go.
So Loki, who could change into a woman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but the idea was Loki's the trickster god, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
he
and the
changed
idea
into
with the trickster god is like you don't want to be tricked because this is bad. This is bad,
Sure,
right?
if
That's
you're-
the
if
idea.
you're- Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the idea. That's not the execution, though.
It was, well, I mean, I'm just telling you how those cultures viewed it.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
think it's
No,
all
I
about
know.
trickery,
Trickery, yeah.
and that's why